Well, Louise Gill, today has been a really, really wet day. The skies are grey. And when we went shopping today, by this, boy, we really had to run for it. You know, this whole weekend here, they say we're going to have rain.
You could imagine flood all over the place.
Boy, there might be flood all over the places, right? I hope they'll be wise enough to know that children need to be protected, so they get them an advance notice about school.
Yeah.
You understand? But here, you're adding some sunshine to this video, you know. But here, Louise, I want to tell you something. You know anything about that 1933 hurricane that passed through Cedros? You hooked down?
Yes, well, you know, Tantan always give us a lot of stories. You remember Tantan, that old lady who helped take care of us? She was like a good mother to us. And she would often tell us stories, and Papa, of course, and talked about the hurricane, that all those coconut trees were rooted up, you know.
That was in 1933, you know?
Yeah.
You were born then?
No, I was born in 1951.
Well, Louise, hold on. Let me just backtrack a little bit to some information I pick up on this 1933 hurricane. They say it was the easternmost tropical storm to form in the main development region. And it formed so early, right? It was one of 3 North Atlantic tropical cyclones on record to produce hurricane force winds in Venezuela. The second tropical storm and first hurricane of the extremely active 1933 Atlantic hurricane season. The system formed on June 24th to the east of the Lesser Antilles. It moved westward and attained hurricane status before striking Trinidad on June the 27th.
Wow.
Damage was estimated at $3 million.
That was plenty money in them days, you know.
What do you mean, our farming was
You're talking now is about 80 years ago? 1933?
89 years ago. The strong wind downed trees and destroyed hundreds of houses, leaving about 1,000 people homeless. That happened to all the family?
Nah, I think so. I don't think that people, I'm not too sure.
Okay,
but
okay.
I often heard that all those coconut trees had fallen and new trees had to be planted.
Right.
You know, where we lived there, beautiful estates of coconut trees.
Yeah. Yeah, that rain coming again, girl?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Then
I feeling so nice and snug in this hammock here.
Yeah, boy, you're looking real cool.
And this coverlet, nice blanket you bring from me, I'm feeling I could sleep here all night.
Okay, boy. Then this hurricane in 1933 crossed the northeastern portion of Venezuela, where power outages and damaged houses were reported. Papa,
well,
that
boy.
was a terrible one, boy, 1933.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me about your father did what now? He had all this secure though. Whoever was born then, who was born then?
Nobody was born then. 1933. Nobody was so old in our family.
Eh?
So nobody was
born.
born.
You was an ancient family in this country.
No. My sister, if she was alive, my first sister, Sylvia, would have been 80 years next year.
80 years?
And
wow.
That's 80 something years ago.
89?
Yeah, man. We are so old.
Yeah.
Maybe your family, I'm sure it's 89 years old. Your family.
Of course.
If they would have been alive.
Yeah. But tell me something. Every time you talk about this little incident, I remember you telling me years ago when we first met, 1933, right? This hurricane.
Yes.
Somebody in the village you hear a story about.
Yes, and the father wanted to be so protective that he put everybody in one room.
One room?
One room, all the children. And he have a cutlass. And he tell them, well, if anything fall on the house and anybody foot end up outside, you got to cut it off.
That was a madman.
But I guess he thought that was his best way to protect his children.
Yes.
Yeah. But nothing had happened much in that hurricane
but
in
a lot
Caracas.
of coconut trees fell.
Not then.
Not then?
No.
1933, I thought they lost a lot of trees in Caracas.
No, I'm talking in 1963.
Oh, 1963?
Yeah.
That was Hurricane Flora.
Right.
Hurricane Flora.
But in 1933, that one that all the trees fell.
Ah.
And they had to plant a new set of crop.
Okay.
But in 1963, I would have been about 12 years old.
Yeah, 12 years old, yes.
Yeah. When I heard about this family, you know, the father put everybody in the room.
Oh, God.
But there was no real serious damage like loss of trees that time. I don't recall. What about in Cora?
Well, boy, let me tell you something. In 1963,
that was Flora.
Yeah, I would have been 14 years old.
See, I was 12.
Right. I was in a school on Henry Street, Port of Spain. And the news comes, Hurricane Flora coming towards Tobago and Trinidad.
Yeah.
Partners, everybody grabbed their book bag and it's down the road. The old man was working in Miller's stores.
Right.
Henry Street.
So he leave work early?
Yes, he and Lennox was working there himself. And in them days you could have parked right in the car park there. It was Marine Square.
Right.
Now it's Independence Square.
Yeah. Yeah, Independence
Square. In those
Square.
days it was Marine Square.
And he was working for us?
My father? No, he was working Miller's.
Miller's, sorry.
Yeah, Miller's. He was working in the hardware department.
Yes.
So we get into this car and we're coming up the road and...
So you left school?
Yeah, everybody is school dismissed. But listen, coming up that highway, the Beacom Highway, it wasn't like how it is today, you know.
One way in and one way out.
Yeah,
up and down.
Two-way traffic.
Two-way traffic.
You know? And rain, and then us driving.
Was it rain like this?
More like this, yes. More like this. This is why we decided to do this video, you know. It has so much of shades of flora. You know, like in the days of Flora, everything was just kind of grey and it was constant rain, as you saw today when we went shopping. But I tell you, when we got into Tunapuna and we were coming up Pajir Road, this big tree just opposite Palladium Cinema, this big branch just break off and dropped about maybe 100 feet in front of the car. Yes, splintered on the roadway, nothing was there. Gone up home, rivers flowing, ravines running heavy.
You went and catch crab?
Catch crab? No, boy, I get cold.
I know only in the country, as soon as rain fall, that crab running, all you go and catch crab, you know.
My brothers used to do it, eh?
Yeah, but hurricane, all you frightened.
Yeah, but when you see they go crab hunting, they go with a crocus bag, and them fellas catching the crab, they have a way of going behind the crab and grabbing it, you know?
Yeah.
I tried that once, eh?
It bite you?
Bite you, really.
I couldn't imagine your ball.
It's a good thing because the rabbit so after that, you know? Yeah, I run. Anyway, I'm telling you now, so when we get home into Hurricane Flora, Mother has some nice fried bakes there, boy, and cheese and honey. You know, the old man was a beekeeper.
Yes, of course.
So good honey. Just like how Stalin has honey nowadays, that flavor honey that Stalin has.
Tonka bean.
Tonka bean is real good, eh?
Yeah.
And my nephew Frank, he produces some good honey too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and Mother has some nice cocoa for all the nice rain that fall in there, man. You're feeling snug in this little old house here. Wooden house.
Yes, of course. Cozy.
You know, cozy. Just like your house, eh?
Yeah, the old time house, yeah.
Real cozy.
Yeah. But then there was a hurricane when we were married and was living in St. Anne's.
A hurricane when we were married?
Well, that was a hurricane.
That was a hurricane, is right?
Hurricane.
Yeah.
Lancy, I think could have been in 73 or so, a hurricane, and Betsy, I remember she had come from San Fernando. And you went to work and you came home early. I left work.
And where did we go?
We were living in St. Anne's.
And we stayed there for the
Yeah.
Boy, I can't remember that at all.
You can't remember that?
That blew my mind away.
Well, we will have to check that out and see whether there was a hurricane in either 73 or 74. We were still live in St. Anne's.
But the next morning after Hurricane Flora, but nothing happened to the house, so we say okay. But my brother Cedric, he had planted corn and peas and tomatoes, and every tree was
Fell
flat on the ground. I
Sad.
feel so sorry for him, man.
But can you imagine that is what happened now
But that's
with
why,
farmers, boy?
yes.
It's
And what
really
happened with
a
farmers
lot of losses, you know.
Yeah, and that's why when they ask for the price, you can't argue with them.
Not at all, not at all.
Because even in the hillside there, having lost all those crops, it hurt, eh?
Yeah.
It really hurt.
And I mean, it wasn't his livelihood.
No, it
That
wasn't.
was just for home use.
That's for home use.
But think of somebody's livelihood.
Yeah.
There's a lot when somebody have tomato tree ready to pick and all this flood now. All the tomato gone, lettuce, everything perish. It's sad.
Yes, definitely, man, definitely. But let us hope that, we could say that we snuck in this little area here,
Yes.
but there are other people who would be really suffering.
Oh yeah,
Hardship
all down
is
Maraval
everywhere.
and so it's a mess down there.
Yeah. So let us really hope that that people would be safe, homes would be safe. Because everything they get up and have mud all on the floor, you know.
What and
Water
is
rushing
everything
through.
lost? You couldn't sleep. You know?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we have a lot to be thankful for, all of everyone who's safe. We can't complain about anything because when you think of what is happening in other places.
Yeah, our hearts have to go out, to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something like that.
Yeah.
And all the areas like Pinal, Woodland, now we have Maraval. Nobody's exempted from disaster, you know.
Wherever you have river and sea, anything could happen. Long ago everybody wanted choice land, sea frontage.
Yeah.
And so now it's a risk to buy a house with sea frontage, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hey Louise, I wanted to just check this for me without getting thing. That couple that Renee talked about, you could pull that up for me, really. I like how your hair looking, man, Louise. Very good.
Yeah.
I like how your hair look.
Yeah, that is nice, that is nice. At this stage, you still like how I look it?
Yes, how you mean? I think I have much choice, you know.
Oh dear.
I ain't have much choice at all.
Yeah.
Listen to that rain.
Okay. This family sent a forward to my niece Renee, and she said, "Can you ask Lancy Boy and Lulu?" That is what I call her, to hail out Mr. and Mrs. Paras and Tara Ramlogan from Tabakit. They love the channel. They never miss an episode.
That's nice. I'm glad somebody wants to shout out.
Yes. So hello there out in Tabakit. Hope you're not flooding out, my dear.
Yes, but,
And anybody else,
yes.
all our subscribers, at this time we think about you all and just keep safe. Don't go down by the river at all. Stay far, clear of rivers.
Yes, my dear. Yes, my dear. So once again, try to stay safe and listen to the bulletins and make sure that, nothing dread happens in your area, wherever you are. It's a serious time with all this heavy weather. But
And
we are
be
looking
sure you
for-
have some groceries in the house.
Well, Louise, if they don't have groceries in the house, they might come by you.
Feel free.
Feel free. I wonder how Farmer Harry making out up there in the hills.
Oh gosh, boy, from Hammy, must in his hammock right now like me.
Yes.
Cover up with a blanket
Yes. And a hot cup of coffee.
and a hot cup of coffee and studying what he's making tomorrow to eat for breakfast.
Yeah, Farmer Harry, man. Man is a genius.
Yeah, man.
All right, folks. Well, thank you very much and all the best.
And thank you, Farmer Harry, for the lovely limes and the plantain. Appreciate. Very kind of you.
Bye-bye.